Hi, my name is Latko Sednik, and today we'll be speaking with Taimour Zaman from Alt Funds Global. We're going to discuss the hidden hurdles on why private placement program brokers fail to seal the deal. We're going to talk about how they can overcome that. You definitely want to watch this.
Nothing that I offer in this video should be considered as legal or financial advice. The purpose of this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Hey, Taimour, how's it going?
I'm great. Thanks, Michael. How are
you?
you?
Really looking forward to some more information from you. One of the things I was thinking about was in talking about private placement programs, why are brokers in the private placement sector having such a hard time closing deals?
Yeah, look, I started in this sector by being a broker myself. So I've been there, done that, I have a lot of experience in that area. And over time, it took us a bit of time to find the legitimate providers, like a long time.
So there's a lot of fakery going on. There's
100%. Look, with us, I have over 900 brokers. And here's some of the experiences that I have about the brokers and why they have a hard time closing. In the area of private placement programs specifically, one of them I find that is that the broker really does not come from the world of banking, learns a lot of garbage from other, what I call joker brokers. And they create nonsense terms or thinking or just like stuff that just doesn't make sense. I also find that a lot of them don't have something called common sense. But this is why we started to charge money to take a consultation call, was because these brokers just give it lots of nonsense. And we're like, we got to cut this out somehow. I have brokers that will call and say, I have a client. Okay. The client has some asset, like, I don't know, like some kind of a heritage bond, some kind of a land, some kind of a gold mine. And they want to leverage this asset to go into a private placement program or trade. You see a lot of brokers that will call you and say that, especially if you have something on your website, like we do, like private placement programs. We actually call it structured finance, which is what it really is with banks. You'll have these kinds of nonsense coming. If the bond is real, why isn't the client going to their own bank and saying, I have a bond, loan me money against it, or leverage it? Like, why isn't the client doing that? Every time I ask a broker, if this is real, why isn't your client, why is the client calling you? Why is the client, this is $1 billion bond, $1 billion bond. If I have $1 billion bond, dude, I gotta be a billionaire, if not a multimillionaire. At the billionaire level, I promise you, all the top 4 accounting firms are in my backyard. The top law firms are in my backyard. Like, honest to God, I don't need a broker. Respectfully speaking, I don't need a broker. I'm just giving you years of experience. And the broker doesn't understand that. They go, oh, because I have a relationship. I have a relationship with this guy. That's why he's not going to his own bank, because he has a relationship. Look, my mother knows me from the moment I was born. She does. I don't know a woman who I have a more deeper connection with other than my mother. When it comes to banking, I'm not calling her. I'm just not calling her. A person who has a relationship with me, I'm not calling them. As like part one. So I find that the broker doesn't have common sense. In many cases, the reason they don't close is because they just don't ask the right questions from the client, saying if this bond is real, or the donkeys you have 10,000 donkeys. Why are you not going to your own bank and doing it? So that's part one. Part two is I find
a lot of time on the phone just saying no.
Yeah, 100%. I don't say that, but I said prove it. Prove it.
And then they don't call back.
Honest, we don't prove it.
They don't call back.
Just because the client send you something on a digital via email. Look, I have a bond. Here's a copy of the bond. A lot of brokers don't understand anything that can be digitalized can be manipulated. I don't know why they don't understand that. Anything that can be digitalized can be manipulated. They don't get it. The broker is running after a shiny object. Look, we have over 900 of them. Some of them in the Toronto area come down to my office and they want to take me out for lunch. It's nice of them to take me out for lunch. And then at some point I tell the guy, look, we've been meeting each other every 6 months, 8 months. How come you're not closing? Why are you not closing? I asked them, how are you paying your bills? And you know what I find out? The guy is an Uber driver. Nothing wrong with being an Uber driver, but on LinkedIn, they don't disclose I'm an Uber driver. They say I'm a financial strategist.
Wizard.
Or I'm a I'm a private placement provider. The private placement provider, they put a lot of PPP just so they get 10. And then you know what they do? They call other people on LinkedIn who have the same thing, PPP. This is how you create a lot of nonsense.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to go into this thing called trade. You have to give me $500,000 and all of a sudden you become $2 trillion comes out magically. Where any bank that does private placement programs to trade never use those terms. It's actually called structured finance. We have projects that require funding. The broker doesn't work in a private banking area, so they don't know these things. They talk to each other, they create their own knowledge book.
Shouldn't it be mandatory that they read your book? Because I know you're a published author and you have an actual book called Structured Finance.
I have structured finance, mystified private banking. Other reasons why they don't close, my experience. So they don't have banking experience. They don't ask the good questions, right questions. They're chasing shiny objects. If I'm an Uber driver, I don't know how much an Uber driver makes, but like the guy who claims to have $100 million and they want to go and trade as a broker, if I can take that client into trade, you know how much money I can make? It'll be life altering. It's worth taking a file to my company and any of my competitors and say, look, I have a file and booking consultation calls with us and trying to sell us something that's actually not real. The broker should be asking the client, if this is $100 million is real, why are you not calling your own bank? Like that's the one question they're not asking. But even if they're asking, they're listening for a shiny object, so they cannot hear the truth.
They want it to be real.
They want it to be real. So so that's a great way of saying it. So I would say lack of banking experience, lack of chasing shiny objects. Why do brokers don't close? They don't have a CRM system or closing process procedure. Nothing I'm saying here is true for all of them. It's my personal experience of that. They don't follow up with the client. The guy who's real has $10 million real. They don't follow up with them on, hey, Mr. Client, do you have a good experience? They don't know what good questions to ask. If the client is talking to you as a broker, if the client is real, he may be talking to 5 other people as well. So you want to find that out quickly. Why are you not talking to your own bank? What are you doing to go and leverage your asset to get a solution for what you're looking for? These are some good qualifying questions to ask right up front. See, listen, with All Funds Global, we have things other people don't have. We have a YouTube channel. That YouTube channel, some of our videos get watched thousands of times, by the way, thanks to you. I've published multiple books. We have 900 brokers. We have a lot of traffic hitting us. We're at a point where, the Minister of Finance of the government invited me to go and help them with some trends, like some structural stuff.
Super exciting. That's very exciting.
Yeah. So I'm not looking for a client. Don't hear this wrong way. I'm here to help people, but I'm not doing Facebook advertising. So when it comes to one area like SBLC, go get me SBLC, monetize your SBLC. Yeah, do we have challenges in that sector? For sure. Sometimes the bank, does whatever. But just on a topic, I've got like 11 different transactions happening at the same time. So the domain expertise we have in that area is a lot more compared to other people. And so brokers don't have that. They don't have traffic. They don't have a lot of qualified opportunities to go close. And they get something they think is a life altering and then they chase it. And they create nonsense out of it like that. So I've said those are some of the biggest reasons why they don't close. Now,
are they just duped very easily?
I don't know if I would use the word duped, but what I've said is, look, I've been in my business for now 9 years. We have developed pretty much a process for everything we do, from doing an event, we have a process and how we do events, down to somebody saying, DBS is running a private placement program. We have a process for how we vet things out. We have a FBI or CI guy vetting the provider. We fly down to Singapore where we have to fly down to actually meet the actual trader. We know what types of questions to ask. If the guy is running a private placement program or runs a family office and they have some letters credit, the guy cannot be showing up at a $5 watch. We know what to look for, like these things. A broker doesn't have that experience. They just don't have a process to procure the right people. They don't have traffic. You know what I mean? So like in a way, he or she has no choice but to trust. That guy on LinkedIn sounds trustworthy. I have no way of really looking into his bank account. Calling me to look into his bank account, you're starting at $100,000 cost that I have to pay, whoever I have to pay that has the capability to do that. Much easier to just trust. Oh, the guy sounds really professional. Strongly recommended by Joe, my neighbor. I love my Joe, my neighbor. I love him. But that's what these people have access to. So they have to make decisions, especially I'm using the Uber driver as a very bad example. The guy wants to leave, how many people do you know who love their jobs? Now I keep using the word analogy to Uber driver, but I even have real estate developers who are like sick and tired of being a real estate developer, and the guy wants to leave his job. Oh, and another reason why brokers don't close is because they're greedy.
Why is that a problem?
Yeah. You know what?
Doesn't money go with greed?
This has happened to me a couple of times this year.
Okay.
The guy's a client. He's in some whatever program he is in. He's a client. He calls, he goes, look, I now have $100 million. I've known you for a while. How is it I have $100 million? Okay.
Exciting.
I'm going to go to a private placement program. I was like, dude, look at my website. We claim boldly we work with banks. It's a bold statement. I'm going to take you to compliance division of a bank. That $100 million that you said you have, it better be yours. Yeah, it's mine. And literally within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of being in compliance department of a bank, they know that the money's not his. I'm now at a point where in our website we say, if you are claiming to have somebody else's money as yours, you're committing fraud. I personally am going to call FBI and report to you, or I personally will do that. So, but I'll tell you a scenario. This guy has been a client for the longest time, follows every single YouTube video I've ever done, watches them like 10,000 times, like that. Big fan. And I love the fact that he's a good guy. Comes to me all of a sudden, he's got $100 million. Now, I know him for a while. Clearly I don't need to talk about his name or whatever. What he had done was he's done a couple of transactions, some big transactions with some people in an import-export business. He got to know somebody who's a $100 million guy, billion-dollar guy. And then he told that guy, look, I have access to a legitimate private placement program trader. By the way, AFG is not a trader. We don't claim to be a trader. But I have access to a trader. The only way you can go to that guy is through me. I'm going to give you documents. Now the broker's making legal documents. I need to get a non-voting seat in your company so that I can show your money to be mine.
That's quite the middleman.
So that I can show the trader that in this case, it was me. I can show your money to be mine. Why traders still close on private placement programs? Why 99.9% of them don't close? They spend years of their life chasing this pipe dream. At some point, if they're smart enough, it hits them to, I better just, if I'm a painter or Uber driver, I'll just focus on my career.
Yeah.
And at least you can make your ends meet or grow your business, whatever that is, rather than chasing pipe dreams, not having common sense, not knowing anything about private banking, not having a process to do the things that you need to do, and then becoming greedy.
And then what about the brokers that actually bring you the correct people? Like how do they understand how their fee structure is put together, or do they ask you, or do they tell you, or do they negotiate with you?
The ones that bring legitimate clients are in the finance business. They are running a lending institution, they're running a venture capital firm, they're running an asset management, like they're in a finance business. They've been at that business for a long time. And so they are attracting what I would call accredited investors. They've been working with me for a while, so they would know the types of questions I would be asking for, the things that I need to see and have. And they have something called trust in me and my team. That's a really good match because I can trust that guy. He's going to go and give me a accredited investor, not a broker who's going to say, I have a client who's got $1 billion bond and he wants to monetize a bond. Like if there's $1 billion bond, why isn't the client going to his own bank? Often.
They know the right questions to ask.
Yeah, they know what right questions are. Yeah. Look, if this is an area that you're interested in, I would recommend going to our website, All Funds Global, become a member, but schedule a call with us to say, I want to be a broker. What are the types of questions I should be asking? And then sign up to become a broker. That way you get a lot of training that we don't offer publicly. So a lot of training we offer brokers, specifically in our sector or private banking, that they cannot get in a university or college. It helps them be successful, but then now they can bring in qualified clients and to close together. That's a really good match. So I always recommend go to our website, become a member, book a consultation call.
Buy your book because
and buy the book that speaks to you for sure, 100%.
you have several books actually in private placement programs. You have currency trading book, you have clearinghouse book as well. A lot of information there, and you know, it was a wonderful tapping into your brain again. But if anybody wants to know more, it's a good idea to look those books up, I think. Am I correct there?
100%. I recommend that for sure.
And then the conversations they'd have with you would be pretty solid because they'd be coming from a base of knowledge.
Yeah, I hope so.
Anyways, always a pleasure. And until the next time, I'm really looking forward to talking with you again.
Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Taimour, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. If you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of All Funds Global. You simply go to our website, allfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing, Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Taimour, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within All Funds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with a central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with. And you know, in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%. Same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever you bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within All Funds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a consultation fee. All Funds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Taimour, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything, ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. We never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate, they're hardworking people. I know them, they deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within All Funds Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimour Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Taimour, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them. It's just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow. We have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world, and I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimour, we love all the services of Funds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks at it. We don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in to that, you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is, if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization, as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimour Zaman from All Funds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of me, my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.